let's be honest, working with volunteers can be messy. I mean, there's probably not a single one of us here that hasn't joked at some point that our lives would be so much easier if we didn't have to work with people. But guess what? We're in the people business. And, inevitably that call's gonna come sometime where someone cancels out, or you're gonna need to ask more from someone. And there's a lot of different ways we can handle this. It's important to know that you can't make withdrawals from a relationship account without building relationship equity, without relational equity. You need to be making sure that you're pouring into your volunteers constantly so that when that time comes that you're asking more, that they're responding in turn. You need to make sure that you recognize that volunteers have lives going on outside of this church. It's sometimes we can lose perspective when we're at the church 40 plus hours a week. And let's be honest, as kids pastors, it's usually 60 or 70 plus hours a week. We can lose perspective that someone else isn't that invested in the church. And so when we ask them, hey, we really need you for this, hour or 2 hours this weekend, maybe they've got a whole lot of other things that they're thinking about. Well, our communication needs to be quick. It needs to be succinct. It needs to be specific, and it needs to be respectful. So when you send those emails to your volunteers asking them for their help on any given weekend, be quick about it. Don't write paragraphs as to why you need their help in any email, or don't plan some long conversation that's going to take up more of their time. Hey, so-and-so, thank you so much for all that you do for the kids ministry here at this church. Hey, we have a need that's come up this weekend. Is there any way that you could respond to this specifically? That's it. Recognize their schedule, how important they are, and then be respectful and ask specifically. Get in, get out. Make sure they know what's going on. Another big thing that really helps me is I've taken time to build a volunteer matrix. Basically what that means is I have a one-stop visual representation of all my volunteers. Who likes to serve? We are a church that has 4 different services, 2 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday. And for every single classroom, I have multiple volunteers. So I know that this person likes to serve Saturday first service, and this person likes to serve Sunday second service. And I build a matrix so that I have opposing teams. So if one person happens to call in sick, I can either ask that volunteer, hey, could you contact so-and-so, because I know they served that same week, and ask them if they'd be willing to serve, or I can take the responsibility and say, I know exactly who I need to go to talk to about that. Really is important to make sure that you build that repertoire of resources, a volunteer matrix, because inevitably cancellations are going to happen, and we're going to have to deal with those things.